Yeah, so once again, good afternoon and welcome back to PPS lecture sessions. We had started our new unit, which is related to functions, user-defined functions. And in a previous lecture, we had gone for what is UDF, user-defined function. It is nothing but a module or the program code which we can call, reuse at any point of time whenever we need, right? And we need to declare, define, and call. The major elements when we are talking about user-defined functions, UDF, is the first one, we need to go for function declaration. Second one, we can call that function wherever and whenever we want, depending on the declaration. And the third one, we need to define the function. So if we quickly go through the live example that we had seen in the previous lecture, in declaration section, maybe it's global or local, we can declare our function. Now, what is local and global? We had also seen that using the third example, like global declaration. If you declare something as a global, then you can use that thing anywhere within the entire file or entire program. So variable a is globally declared, so you can use a inside your main also, and you can use variable a inside your other function also, because it is global. Now similarly, if you declare your function as a global, then you can use that function anywhere within your program. So fun1 can be used here in main. Fun1 can also be used somewhere in the other functions if you want. So that's global declaration. Local declaration is something which is like in which block you declare that variable or a function. So B and D is local for main, and that's why B and D is only accessible inside main. You cannot use B and D inside fun1. Now, if you declare variable D in fun1 local declaration part, then this variable D is totally different than the variable D you have declared inside main. Okay. So inside main, you have variable D having value 12, but inside your function 1, you have variable D having value 15. So that's how you can define what is the scope of a variable. So scope of a local variable will be that particular block or a function where it has been declared. And if you declare your variable globally, then the scope will be the entire file. Okay. Now, if you talk about lifetime of a variable, then global variable will have a lifetime throughout the entire execution of your program. प्रोग्राम का एग्जीक्यूशन जब से स्टार्ट होगा तब से लेके जब तक खत्म नहीं हो जाता तब तक उसका लाइफ स्पान रहेगा, तब तक वो वेरिएबल मेमोरी में रहेगा. बट द लोकल वेरिएबल डिपेंड्स वेयर इट हैज बीन डिक्लेयर्ड. सो फंक्शन 1 के अंदर आप लोकल वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करते हो तो ये वेरिएबल की मेमोरी अलोकेशन और ये मेमोरी में कब आएगा, जब आप वो फंक्शन कॉल करोगे तब. एंड व्हेन यू आर एट द एंड ऑफ द फंक्शन, जैसे ये फंक्शन खत्म हो गया तो मेमोरी के अंदर से ये वेरिएबल भी निकल जाएगा. So the lifespan of these two variables, local variables, will be the lifespan of that block or that function. So that's the local and global part we have understood in the previous lecture. So again, coming back to the functions, declaration, call, and definition. So you can declare your function globally as well as locally, that's okay. But what is function declaration? Let's very quickly revise that syntax. So the function declaration consists of major 4 points. Function type, that is the return type also. Then function name, then the parameter list, and at the end, semicolon. So void is the function type or the return type. I don't want to return anything, so explicitly I'll write void here. अगर मैं यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं लिखता हूँ, if we do not write anything as a function type, then the default return type will be integer. ये याद रखना सब. अगर कुछ नहीं लिखते हो तो by default integer return type होगा. Then we have the function name, greet. Then the parenthesis और उसके बीच में जो parameter list है, that's optional. So if you don't want to have any parameter, explicitly you can write void, या तो फिर आप बीच में कुछ ना लिखो फिर भी वो void कहलाएगा. And then at the end, semicolon. So this is the function declaration. Remember, declaration must be there before you call your function. अगर 19th लाइन नंबर 19 पे आप फंक्शन कॉल करते हो, देन बिफोर लाइन नंबर 19 कहीं ना कहीं तो उसका डिक्लेरेशन आ जाना चाहिए. Okay, that's one point. Now declaration is optional. We have seen the second example. Declaration is optional if and only if you define your function before you call it. So अगर 23rd लाइन पे आप कॉल करते हो, बिफोर लाइन नंबर 23 अगर वो फंक्शन की डेफिनेशन आपने लिख दी है तो डिक्लेरेशन जो है वो ऑप्शनल है. ओके, सो दैट्स फंक्शन डिक्लेरेशन. नाउ हाउ टू कॉल अ फंक्शन? सिंपली यू राइट फंक्शन नेम. इफ यू वांट टू पास फ्यू पैरामीटर्स तो पैरेंथेसिस के अंदर पैरामीटर आ जाएंगे. एंड इफ दैट फंक्शन रिटर्न समथिंग, तो ये फंक्शन जो जहां से आप कॉल कर रहे हो वहां पे लेफ्ट साइड some variable equals to, okay, so that you can catch returned value in that variable. So that's the function call. And the third one is the function definition. So function definition consists of two things: function header and function body. Function header is much similar to the function declaration. The only change will be there is no semicolon at the end, and पैरामीटर लिस्ट जो है वहाँ पे वेरिएबल का नाम भी होना चाहिए कंपलसरी. डिक्लेरेशन में आप वेरिएबल ऑमिट कर सकते हो, यू ओनली रिक्वायर पैरामीटर डेटा टाइप. लेकिन डेफिनेशन जब आप लिखते हो तो डेटा टाइप के साथ वेरिएबल भी चाहिए. विल लुक एट दोज एग्जांपल्स वेरी सून. एंड देन द कर्ली ब्रेसेस विल डिफाइन फंक्शन बॉडी. So void greet, no parameters here, and then the curly bracket defines this is the function body, and inside that body we write our business logic. हमें जो कुछ भी परफॉर्म करना है, जो भी टास्क परफॉर्म करना है, for that we are going to write our code inside within this curly bracket. So all these examples we have seen in the previous session, and we were discussing the types of functions. So there are a number of different types depending on return type, okay, and the parameter, number of parameters or the parameters. So we had seen the very basic one where there is no parameter and there is nothing to return, correct? So as a return type we have void, and as a parameter list there is nothing. So no parameter, no return type. That example we have already seen, right? So this is something like no parameter and no return value. Now depending on these two, we can have different types of functions, and that's what we are going to see today. We are going to cover a number of different examples, right? So let me create a new file, a separate file here. This is the fourth file, function4.c, and let's have the same example where we won't be focusing on these variables, globally or locally declared or something, right? And let's not have this thing. All these unnecessary code I'm going to remove. Okay. Yeah. So here we are looking at no parameter and no return value. We have simple function one. Let's call it greet. The same example that we have already seen. We just want to greet our user, and we can call that function and we can have something as a message here. Right? So that's it. Now this is a very basic, the first example, without any parameter, without any return value. Now after that, let's have a look at the other type, where let's say we are going to pass some parameters. No return value, we only pass few parameters. And let me do one thing. Let us have all these definitions before we call a function, so that I need not to declare those functions every time. Okay. So the second part, second example that we want to have is something which is some parameters, or let's say with parameters and no return value. So if we don't want to return anything, then return type will be void. Then comes the function name. Okay. Yeah, Yusuf, thank you for pointing me out. Fun1 should be greet here. Yeah. So the first parameter was first function was greet. Second function we are talking about with some parameters and no return values. Let us create this function as a, let's say, addition of integers. Add int. Okay, that's what the function name we write. You can have anything as a function name. It is just the identifier. And this is how we define that function. Now, as we said, no return type. So function type is void, but with parameters. So we need to define few parameters. Well, let me show you the declaration also. Let me undo everything. Yeah, let us keep declaration and definition both separate, so that I can show you what is the difference between function declaration and function header. Okay, so the second thing that we want to do here is with parameters, no return value. And for that, right now we are going for function declaration. So return type is void. Add int is the function name, and then parameter list and semicolon. Now parameter, let's say I want to add two integer values, then declaration should only require two parameter data types. So int, and done. Focus here. Now this is the function declaration. Okay, void is the return type or the function type. Add int is the function name, and then there is a parameter list and semicolon. Now inside your parameter list, you just need to give data type of your parameters and the number of parameters. So there are two parameters, first and second, and both are integers. Now we need not to write any variable name at this place. But when I go and define this function, okay, so when we go for the function definitions here, with parameter no return value, then instead of semicolon, you all know that we require curly bracket, So this part, this line is the function header, and curly bracket defines the function body. Now in your function header, it is much similar to the function declaration, but the only difference is here you need to have some variable name compulsorily, okay, so that using these variables you can refer those values inside. So at this place, let's say if we simply want to print the final answer, then we can say that total is %d, and I just want to add x and y, so I can simply write here x plus y. So executor is going to execute this addition operation first, and the final answer will be printed at this %d place. So I'm not returning any answer, I simply print it here. Now how do we call this function? So whenever you want to call it, you simply need to use the function name. So within the main, let me call this function addInt, and as long as there are two parameters that function is going to need, and we define that function with two parameters also, so we need to pass two parameters here. We need to pass two values. So if I pass, let's say 5, 3, then these are the two values I'm going to pass when I call that function. So 5 and 3 is the actual parameter, x and y is the formal parameter. Remember, we have seen this thing, and even we are going to discuss that thing in detail much more just after we see all the types of functions. But for now, you can simply understand this like this is the actual parameter, the actual value that we pass, and x and y is the formal parameter which is actually going to receive those values. So अब यहाँ पे क्या होगा, when I call this function, ये 5 send करेगा and x is going to receive that value 5, the first parameter here, first parameter here. So x will receive value 5, y will receive value 3, and that's the reason number of parameters in declaration, कॉल एंड डेफिनेशन सेम होने चाहिए. अगर दो पैरामीटर डिक्लेयर किए तो मैं दो ही पैरामीटर पास कर पाऊंगा, और यहाँ पे दो वेरिएबल, दो पैरामीटर ही डिफाइन करने होंगे मुझे कंपल्सरीली. So that was the first point, number of parameters must match. Second point है, type of those parameters must also match in sequence. So पहला इंटीजर दूसरा इंटीजर है, तो डेफिनेशन में भी पहला इंटीजर दूसरा इंटीजर होना चाहिए. And when I send values, when I call that function and pass the value, वो वैल्यू भी इसी तरह की होनी चाहिए. अगर वो नहीं है, then what C executor will do? Implicit typecasting. If you remember, we have seen typecasting, right? Smaller data type is going to be converted to the bigger data type implicitly. So it can be done. जहाँ पे typecasting possible है वो करेगा, नहीं है possible, then it is going to generate the error. Yeah, so this is the second thing that we have seen. We have sent few parameters, we have sent few values, but we are not receiving back anything. So if we save this code and let's run this code and see what happens. Yeah, there is a linker error. What is the problem? Just let me see. Okay, greet addInt. Yeah, here I need to change greet, the same part Yusuf has pointed out. Okay, so I change it and let me run that part again. So now we have first welcome, it is coming from greet function, and the second message total is 8. Now that is coming from the addInt function, right? Now I'm pointing out on the parameter more and more. Remember, type of the parameter and the number of parameters must match. Only then you can say, you can call that function. Okay. So what happens if I do this thing? What if I declare another function, let's say add float, and I pass two parameters, float parameters. First one is float, second one is also float. So that's the different function, remember. Now, one thing you should remember, if you have two functions having same name like this one, then C language is going to generate the error. Let me run this code. So if you have same function name, although you have different parameter type and list, still as long as you have the same function name, C language is going to generate the error here. Now there are few other languages, object oriented languages will support this thing, but in C it is not possible, remember. Okay, so let me make that change. One is add int, another one is add float. So now we can say these two are totally different functions. And now if we want to call another one, then we can call add float function with 5.1 and let's say 3.0. So what we can do is, here we can define that function add float, which will have two parameters, float x and float y. And when I'm going to print this total, I'll make sure that %f I'm going to print here. Okay. Yeah. So now these two are totally different functions. One is having two parameters, no return type, but these two parameters are integer. Another is having two parameters as float and the no return type, means void. And now if I'm going to execute this one, then we'll have proper answer, welcome message, then total is 8, that's because of integer addition, and another one is total 8.1000000 and so on, because implicitly float will have total 6 decimal point values, right? So 8.1 is the answer for this one, second one. Now remember, we can, it's not needed that you have integer and integer or float and float. You can have integer and float also, and that depends on your requirement. And we can say this is add int float, whatever function name you call, it's okay. And you can call that function add int float function. But now here you need to remember, although there are two parameters only, but you have to make sure that first one is the integer, second one is the float. So 5 is the integer, 3.0 is the float. You can pass it like that way. And the definition is going to be something like, first one must be integer, okay? And the second one is going to be float. Function name is add int float. So this is going to do that thing. Now, when you print the final answer, x is integer, y is float. So x plus y calculation will be in float. अगर आप %f से प्रिंट करते हो तो करेक्ट आंसर मिलेगा. %d से प्रिंट करते हो, then it is only going to print the integer part of that calculation. Okay, so that you have to make sure. 5 plus 3.0. Now here you can have 3.1 also if you just want to check that calculation is being done in floating point. 8.1 is the final answer. Okay. Yeah, so that's the passing parameters. Now you can have as many number of parameters as you want, but अगर 5-7 से ज़्यादा पैरामीटर हो जाते हैं, then what we do is we go for the alternate way. अगर सारे पैरामीटर्स एक ही डेटा टाइप के हैं तो हम इंटीजर लेते हैं. अगर सारे डेटा टाइप्स कुछ डिफरेंट डेटा के हैं, डिफरेंट डेटा टाइप्स के हैं पैरामीटर्स, तो हम स्ट्रक्चर लेते हैं. नाउ व्हाट इज स्ट्रक्चर? वी विल लर्न इट लेटर ऑन in the syllabus, right? But what we do is, if a large number of parameters are needed to be passed, तो फिर हम alternate way पकड़ लेंगे, either array or structure. But there is no limit on the number of parameters that you should know. Okay. So that's the second way. Now we can go for the third way, with parameter and return value. मुझे पैरामीटर भी पास करने हैं और मुझे रिटर्न भी चाहिए. फाइनल आंसर रिटर्न चाहिए. सो लेट्स गो फॉर ऐड इंट रिटर्न. Okay, this is the function name. If I say add int return, integer value add करके वो return करेगा. I'm going to pass 2 integer values, and finally the return type, the function type is going to be integer. Now I want integer value back from that function. So that is with parameter and with return value. So remember, when you call that function, okay, when you call that function add int return, you are going to pass 2 parameters, but that function is going to return you the value, so you have to receive that value back. अगर कोई आपके सामने बॉल थ्रो करता है तो वो बॉल आप कैच करोगे. So we have to catch that return value here. So I can have a variable total, and let's declare that variable integer total like this way. Okay, so if I do have a local variable, I'm going to assign that return value to that variable so that we can print that answer here. Okay, now this capital total we are printing in the main. Okay, so this is how we can print that answer. Let me have lesson at the end also. So this is the function. We pass 2 parameters. It is going to return me 1 value. I'm going to receive that value in total, and then I can print it. So how to define this function? So this is going to be with parameter and return value. There are 2 parameters, integer x, integer y, and the return type is going to be integer. Now I'm not going to print that answer here, but I'm going to return that answer. So simply x plus y we can return from this place. Now if that is a complex calculation, then what you can do is you can do whatever calculation you want to do here, x plus y, and you can have it inside a separate variable, let's say z. Okay, and you can return z here. That is also possible, and this is also correct. So if there is a complex calculation, you can do it separately, and the final answer you can return at the end if you want. और अगर basic calculation है तो आप direct भी return कर सकते हो. Well, so this is the return value. So अब यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Let's try to understand. When I call that function, it is going to send 2 values, 5 and 3. Now those 2 values will be received here. 5 will be received in x, 3 will be received in y. So x and y is the copy of your data. Okay. So 5 plus 3 becomes 8. And this statement is going to return that value 8 back. जैसे ही ये फंक्शन खत्म हो जाएगा तो ये वापस कहाँ पे जाएगा, जहाँ से कॉल हुआ था. सो कहाँ से कॉल हुआ था, इट विल कम बैक टू लाइन नंबर 29. सो जो वैल्यू 8 रिटर्न हुई वो रिटर्न वैल्यू असाइन हो जाएगी टोटल के अंदर, एंड then you can print your total to have that answer on the screen. So if I save it and again run this code, yeah, did we make any mistake? Yeah, I need to rename this function, add int return. Okay, so let's run this thing. So the first one is the welcome, then this is the normal parameter passing 8, float parameter 8.1, integer and float 8.1, and this last one, total 8, is coming from the return value. So that's the third way we have seen, with parameter and return value. Okay, so yeah, Mana was pointing out that thing. We have to rename the function. That has been done. Yeah, any other query or doubt now in these 3 types of functions we have seen here? Yeah, Manav is asking what is the need of return, or what's the use of return? Well, you can say that let's say you have created a function which is going to give you the percentage of a student. Now, how to find out percentage? So there is a mathematical calculation we need to go for, right? Make a total of all subjects, then divide that total with the total of subjects, obtain total, divide by total, and then multiply it by 100, and so on. You can have the percentage. So that percentage calculation you can write in a function, and subject marks you can pass. एक array pass कर दो वहाँ पे. We'll see how to pass that array. Okay, so ये दो आप इस तरह से देख सकते हो कि ये दो आपने सब्जेक्ट के ऑब्टेन्ड मार्क्स पास किए, यहाँ पे आप उसका परसेंटेज कैलकुलेट करोगे, एंड एट दिस प्लेस यू आर गोइंग टू रिटर्न दैट परसेंटेज. सो जैसे कि मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि मुझे एडिशन चाहिए, आप यहाँ पे एडिशन की जगह पे कुछ भी बना सकते हो दैट यू वांट. 5 और 3 का एडिशन चाहिए था तो मैंने ये फंक्शन कॉल किया विथ 5 and 3 और उसने मुझे फाइनल टोटल दे दिया. नाउ सिमिलर approach you can have for anything, for any task that you want to perform. अगर कोई कॉम्प्लेक्स कैलकुलेशन है तो वो कॉम्प्लेक्स कैलकुलेशन आप विद इन मेन के अंदर पूरा कैलकुलेशन लिखना नहीं चाहोगे. आप क्या करोगे, आप उसका एक फंक्शन बना दोगे और वो कोड अलग से फंक्शन के अंदर लिखोगे. There are number of operations that we do separately in a function, and we might require the final answer back. So when we want something back, return is going to help us. That's not the only case. The other example I'm going to show you now, let's have a look at that. The next example that we want to see is with no parameter. मुझे कोई parameter pass नहीं करना है, but I want some return value. No parameter, but with return value. So I'm not going to pass anything as a parameter here, but I need something back from that function. Now, this kind of functions are something like getter functions. Let's say get edge. Okay, so what we can do is we can call that function get age without any parameter, but that function is going to get the edge from user, from other data, from other file, anywhere. कहीं से भी आप वो edge ढूंढ के लेके आओ, and then return that age here. So need to have one local variable age, and then you can print that age here if you want. और एक बार आपको age मिल जाए, then you can do whatever you want. Print करना है print करो, calculation करना है calculation करो, but here you can, we'll simply print it right now. Age percentage D, now let it be integer right now, age, okay? So what this function is going to do, and how we are going to define it. So for that, let's define that thing here. So no parameters, but return value is there. Integer value I'm going to return. I don't have any parameter here, but I'm going to define function body. Now here what you can do is, अगर आप database से age लाना चाहते हो, then you connect your database, read that database and find the age. अगर आप file read करके age लाना चाहते हो, then you open your file, read that file, close that file, and finally you have your age. Right now हम सिर्फ user के पास से age मांगेंगे. So we'll ask user that please enter your age, and we are going to scan it. Okay, scanf %d ampersand age. Now this age, remember, this age is not declared within this function, as well as this age is not a global variable anywhere. आगे कहीं पे आपने globally declare भी नहीं किया है. So we have to declare that locally here. Okay, so I declare a variable age, then I ask user to enter the age. एक बार मुझे age मिल जाए, then I'm going to return that age. So this age is going to be returned, this value is going to be returned now. वो value return होके कहाँ पे जाएगी? It is going to be there in the age variable of your main function. Main के अंदर जो आपका age है, वहाँ पे आ जाएगी वो value. And then you can print it. फिर से बता दूँ, this is just the example, हमने user से get किया. It's not necessary that you take it from user. You can get this value from file. You can get this value from calculation. You can get this value from database, depending on your requirement. अब वो सब कैसे होता है? You will learn all those things later on. File handling बाद में देखोगे. Database connectivity, if there is any, you are going to learn it later on. But this is just the scenario. If you want to get something, you call that function, because getting that value is not a simple process, it's a tedious process. तो उसके लिए आप function बनाओगे. So am I clear with this one? Let us simply run this code and see what is there. Oh, what happened? Yeah, it's running properly. We have welcomed an 8.1, 8.1, and 8 is okay. And then when we call that function get age, it is asking us to please enter your age, right? And here you need to enter your age. If I enter anything and press enter on the keyboard, it is going to print that value. अब यहाँ पे याद रखो, ये value आपने main के अंदर get नहीं की है. You scan that value within a function. अगर वही वैल्यू आपको मेन में वापस चाहिए तो फंक्शन से रिटर्न करनी होगी, and that's why we return that value and we catch that value back in the main. So that's the fourth type of function. No parameters, but with return value. So that's the fourth type. Now fifth type is more than one return values, but that is not possible with a return statement. अगर एक से ज़्यादा वैल्यू आपको रिटर्न करनी है, then you need to go for pointers, and next to next unit is on pointers, so at that time we will see those examples. For now, if you do have any doubt, just write in a chat box. I'll go through your queries. Yeah, Ajay Kumar was asking for another example for return statement. So Ajay, now you do have two different examples of returning a value. I think you are clear with that now. Yusuf is asking, can we declare the return function directly and then print it by using the value z as we did in previous case? I don't get your point, Yusuf. Can we declare the return function directly that can print it by using value of z? Will you elaborate more, Yusuf? I'm not getting your point now. Janil Kumar is saying, what is the actual use of function? Well, Janil, I think you were absent in the previous lecture, maybe. We had gone for few examples of the need of function also. So I'll suggest that you have a look at the previous lecture recording. Well, Yusuf, you are saying call the function. Yeah, definitely we call those functions here. Look, from main, okay, from main, all these statements are the function call. Okay, add int return is the function call. Add int float, add int, even get edge, this is also a function call. Okay. Okay, Ajay Kumar is saying, please explain one more time how we know what is parameter as written mean we don't have written anything. Look, it's very much simple. जो भी आप सेंड करते हो, जो भी आप भेजते हो, वो पैरामीटर है, और जो आप वापस पाते हो, whatever you get in return, that's the return value. जैसे कि आप add int फंक्शन को कॉल करते वक्त दो वैल्यू पास करते हो, 5 and 3 आपने भेजी वहां पे. Now look, this is what you call. यहां से आपने कॉल किया and this is where it gets jumped. जंप होके यहाँ पे गया एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए. सो 5 और 3 मैंने भेजा, आई सेंड दो टू वैल्यूज, तो वो पैरामीटर है. लेकिन फंक्शन के नाम के आगे इक्वल्स टू करके अगर कुछ लिखा है, देन दैट्स द रिटर्न्ड वैल्यू. सो when you add those two things, okay, when you add those two things and finally return your total, that's the return value. तो ये z जो है वो रिटर्न हुआ, रिटर्न होके टोटल में आया एंड वी प्रिंट दैट टोटल. अब मैं वहां पे प्रिंट z क्यों नहीं लिखूंगा, क्योंकि z इज डिक्लेयर्ड इनसाइड द फंक्शन. लोकल एंड ग्लोबल वेरिएबल समझना चाहिए. सो z इज लोकल टू दिस फंक्शन ओनली. जैसे ही ये फंक्शन से बाहर निकल जाऊंगा, आई कैन नॉट रिफर z. वो z क्या है किसी को पता ही नहीं है. ओके, सो आई गेट दैट वैल्यू बैक हियर एंड यहाँ पे मैंने वो प्रिंट किया. नाउ व्हाई वी नीड टू रिटर्न द वैल्यू? सो इट्स समथिंग लाइक, जैसे कि चलो मान लो कि for example, look, why we need, let me go through another example when, why, and where we need a function and where we need a return value. Just give me any example of mathematical process. Yeah, let's go for let's go for the Fibonacci series. Okay. अब मान लो कि मुझे फर्स्ट फ्यू टर्म्स जो है उसका एडिशन चाहिए. Yeah, we can also take the example factorial. That's the best example. Let's take the factorial example. Okay. अगर मुझे factorial चाहिए कोई एक वैल्यू का, and let's say I do have 3 students with me here. मेरे पास 3 स्टूडेंट हैं और मुझे 3 वैल्यू का फैक्टोरियल चाहिए. अर्लियर व्हाट वी थिंक ऑफ कि भाई मैं एक स्टूडेंट को बोलूँगा 5 फैक्टोरियल ढूंढ के लेके आओ. व्हाट विल बी द 5 फैक्टोरियल. दूसरे स्टूडेंट को बोलूँगा व्हाट विल बी द 8 फैक्टोरियल. तीसरे स्टूडेंट को बोलूँगा व्हाट विल बी द 10 फैक्टोरियल. अब वो तीनों स्टूडेंट अगर फैक्टोरियल कैलकुलेट करते हैं, लुक द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ फैक्टोरियल इज अ टीडियस टास्क, तो वो मैं खुद नहीं कर रहा हूँ. आई एम नॉट डूइंग इट. सो इट्स समथिंग लाइक कि आप मेन के अंदर वो नहीं करोगे, वो मेन के अंदर नहीं करोगे. उसके लिए आपने फैक्टोरियल का एक फंक्शन बना दिया. सो पॉइंट नंबर 1, इफ दैट इज अ टीडियस टास्क, तो उसके लिए मैं अलग से कोड लिखूंगा, वो कोड मेन के अंदर नहीं लिखूंगा. दैट वाज द फर्स्ट रीजन. सेकंड रीजन, अगर मुझे एक से ज़्यादा बार वो कॉल करना है, अगर मुझे एक से ज़्यादा बार वो कैलकुलेशन करना है, 5 फैक्टोरियल, 8 फैक्टोरियल, 10 फैक्टोरियल, 3 बार मुझे वो कैलकुलेशन करना था. तो अभी के लिए तो मैंने क्या किया, मैंने 3 स्टूडेंट को बिठा दिया, लेकिन आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू 3 फंक्शंस, आई एम गोइंग टू डू सिंगल फंक्शन. लेकिन वो 3 फंक्शन में यहाँ से 3 बार कॉल करूँगा व्हेन आई डू दैट थिंग. ओके. So the second reason is we can reuse the function. We can reuse the function whenever we want. जब चाहिए तब यूज कर सकता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं है कि कंसेक्यूटिवली मैंने यूज किया. जब जरूरत पड़ेगी तो हम उसको कॉल करेंगे. नाउ व्हेन वी रिटर्न अ वैल्यू, अब ये हो सकता है कि वो 3 स्टूडेंट जो हैं जो कैलकुलेशन कर रहे हैं 5 फैक्टोरियल, 8 फैक्टोरियल और 10 फैक्टोरियल, वो 3 स्टूडेंट कैलकुलेशन करके आंसर अपनी बुक में लिख सकते हैं या तो फिर बोर्ड पे लिख सकते हैं. दैट्स फाइन, क्योंकि उनका काम सिर्फ फैक्टोरियल फाइंड करना था. तो उन्होंने फैक्टोरियल फाइंड कर लिया और कहीं पे लिख दिया, उनका काम खत्म. व्हाट इफ I use that factorial value, I want to use that factorial value further in my calculation. आगे जाके उसी का calculation, like that's correct, Nirmal is pointing out, generating NCR. अगर वही factorial का use मुझे combinations calculations करने में करना होगा, then I need those values, right? मुझे वो वैल्यू चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि उसने कैलकुलेट किया और बुक में लिख लिया. I need those values back so that I can use those values in other calculations. तो जब आपको वो वैल्यू वापस चाहिए, then you have to have return statement there so that you can receive that answer back and you can feed that answer in further calculation. So I hope everyone is now clear with why we need function, when we need function, when we need return value, or when we need to return a value. Any more confusions? Now the type of parameters and type of return will depend on your need. आपको कौन सी वैल्यू भेजनी है और कौन सी वैल्यू वापस चाहिए. Based on your need, you can define your parameters and you can define your return type. So at present, we just want to get ourselves familiar with the function declaration, function call, and function body, or the function definition. अगर ये अच्छे से आपको समझ में आ जाएगा तो आप कौन सा भी कोई सा भी कॉम्प्लेक्स फंक्शन लिख पाओगे. हाउ टू डिसाइड, तो ये हो जाएगा आपका एनालिटिकल पार्ट. यू हैव टू एनालाइज योर प्रॉब्लम, देन एंड देन ओनली यू विल कम टू सम डिसीजन कि भाई ये फंक्शन होगा, ये वैल्यू रिटर्न होगी एंड सो ऑन. Even we'll go further and we'll see few more कॉम्प्लेक्स एग्जाम्पल्स, तब आपको ज़्यादा पता चलेगा कि क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए. Throughout your journey in the engineering, you'll learn a lot. At present, you just have to understand what is a function and how to write a function. Well, so it's almost time. So what we'll do is we'll conclude our session here. That's all for today. And what we have gone for is we have seen number of examples for functions, even types of functions, with parameter, without parameter, with return type, without return type, and so on. So in the next lecture, what we are going to do is we will see the types of parameters. We'll in depth, we will see actual parameter, formal parameter. Both are different. We have seen that example already. And then we'll go for macros, preprocessors, and nesting of functions and all. Okay. Yeah. Nirmal is pointing out something. For a complex use of functions, we can do code for Pascal triangle, like if n equals to 2, it should give output like 1, 2, 1. Well, definitely you can create a function for Pascal triangle, and you can pass one parameter, right? The value of n you can pass inside, and that function is going to print the Pascal triangle for you. It can be done, yes. But still, I can say that's the basic example of function. When you learn few data structures later on, okay, then all the operations to be done on the data structure will be defined as a function. तो ये एक example हो गया function कब चाहिए. Let's say another one. I want to print the full result of a student, which covers everything. जिसमें student का नाम है, उसका division है, उसकी branch, semester, then list of subjects, subject के marks, subject के total marks, उसके total obtained marks, percentage, grade, everything. And let's say you are organizing all these data properly. अभी तक तो हमने सिर्फ array देखा है. Maybe after 2 units we are going to learn structures. तब आप और एक data structure सीखोगे. What is a structure? So you can combine different data types and you can refer those values with a single name. So at that time you will see structure. अब structure के लिए आपको कोई operation लिखना है, let's say getting a value or printing a value and so on, तो आप पूरा structure function में pass कर दो और function के अंदर उसका code लिख लो, right? So now onwards we will be looking functions at many points. Okay. Yeah, so that's all for today. Thank you for being part of this session here. And what I'll suggest is, again, you have a look at functions, previous session and today's session, refer it one more time, and have few examples. Try to code a function by yourself. Yeah, thank you everyone. See you in the next lecture now. Bye-bye.